Hello, hello, people of the internet. Let me tell you, I fucking set up everything today, even moved the camera. I did everything right and they indicted me. And I literally did fucking everything. Except for plug in the microphone. Which is something. That's a fucking way to start the week, right? I mean, we making it work. Am I right? We got it going. We be straight up defecating on our enemies, you feel me? Defecating. It's actually a 1 gallon can. I just have shack proportions. That's fucking right, people. We back. We fucking back. I really don't feel well, to be honest. But I would never in a million years dream of lacking, never caught me without a weapon. With that being said, people. With that being said, let us get into the detailing. The concealer, the foundation is laid down. Now let's do some contour, you feel me? For today, I don't even know what the fuck I have planned. I do, looking at the camera, staring into your soul. I do, however, have a topic for today. Do you remember that I am a slave to the tobacco industry? Well, if you do, you might know that there's a certain kind of cigarettes I like to indulge in. And that, of course, is no other brand than the brand you might expect this stream to be about. And that's what the fuck we're gonna talk about. Today I'm gonna make you addicted. Do you understand? Do you remember fucking Joe Camel? Do you remember Joe Camel, people? Joe fucking Camel? Do you remember the 21st night of Joe Camel? Oh, by the way, that's something I wanted to talk about. I had something planned for the 21st night of September, but sex, people. I actually just forgot. I think on that day I was also pretty sick. But what can you do? Look at that fucking design, people. Ain't that something? Look at fucking Joe Camel. I mean, holy shit. If I grew up during the Joe Camel era, I would be a full-on pack-a-day kinda addict. Look at that, that's fucking insane. He even got himself a camel chick. Do you understand what I'm saying? This shit is insane. They really did a lot with the fucking marketing back in the day. Back when there were no restrictions on getting everyone hooked. Bruh, don't tell me shit, that looks fucking sick. No fucking way. There's just no fucking way. Louis Armstrong x Camel collab? Holy shit. Oh my god, that's so fucking great. Smoke a fresh cigarette, a fucking doctor. Don't smoke old cigarettes, the doctor says. Give your throat a what? Give your throat a vacation? It's toasted. Holy shit, yes, it's toasted. And I can never forget about the fucking It's Toasted Lucky Strike campaign. Give your throat a vacation. Smoke a fresh cigarette. Camels. That's so fucking ridiculous. I should really switch to vapes, to be honest, just to get off the fucking tobacco. Hello, can you not? Hello, CNN Health. Can you not fucking ruin the vibes for a second? More doctors smoke Camels than any other cigarette. I'm going to grow 100 years old. No, you're not. And you bet your fucking ass you didn't. But you got fucking rich from that sponsorship, so I respect the hustle. The brand named most what's Camel? Of course the question was, what cigarette do you smoke, doctor? That's so fucking ridiculous. Why our new physicians call our new brand a health cigar. You're gonna grow 1,000 years old. In fact, the tobacco's gonna mummify you. That shit is so fucking insane. I'm sorry, I've been distracted by what the fuck this is. An artificial womb? That sounds fucking sick. Let's get to fucking artificial wombs. Don't be a fucking buzzkill, okay? FDA. You fucking make Prime energy drink legal, and now you're against artificial wombs? Fuck you, honestly. What the fuck is wrong with you? I'd rather be put in an artificial womb right the fuck now, instead of drinking one single bottle of that disgusting ass orange Prime. I can't. Literally, I can't. Put me in the womb. Get me away from the Prime. That shit is disgusting. You like them fresh, so do I. Actually, no, I don't. Ever heard of fucking aging tobacco, you dumbass? God damn it. Brother, I'm telling you, I once smoked like 18-year-old cigarettes. And they were fucking delicious. Like, actually. They were much milder and much more flavorful than fresh cigarettes. Like, actually, they tasted a lot better. Like, I would say about 5 times better than a fresh cigarette. They were like Marlboro Reds from a time where you would pay maybe a third of what you would pay nowadays. Man, those were the times when they didn't tax the poison. Viceroy's filter the smoke. That's a good idea, I guess, but that's a tiny ass filter. I mean, they had to start somewhere, right? As your dentist, I would recommend Viceroy's. What the fuck do they always have with doctors just lying to their face? Viceroy's filter the smoke. 38,000 dentists say smoke Viceroy's. They urge you to. You're not smoking yet? Smoke it. kills all the fucking bacteria and your teeth. Can never stain your teeth. That's just you know what? I kinda miss the times when you could just fucking lie to their faces in ads. Those used to be fucking golden times. Of you just don't worry about what the fuck you put in your body. Lead paint, Viceroy's filter cigarettes. Brother. Chesterfield is best for you. Ever heard of fucking air? No, Chesterfield. Because the Chesterfields, believe it or not, have a filter on them, unlike your lungs. More people smoking Camels than ever before. Yes, nowadays we call that kinda behavior. With that being said, I fucking love cigarettes, man. More doctors smoke Camels than any other cigarette. They really like that one. Marshall's. Also, how the fuck do you even do a case study for that? Like, oh my god, here's $50. The Camel company gives you $50 to get there, which is like $300 nowadays. And then they're like, so, do you like Marlboros more than Camels? And you're like, oh, maybe they're gonna take the money back if I kinda fuck it up because no legislation. So they're of course like, yeah, fucking Camels, right? I smoke them daily. Of course the fucking doctor doesn't smoke because he's not a fucking dumbass. He's just like, yeah, Camels. I puff them and puff them all day. Marshall's prepared Cubeb cigarettes for Qatar, cold in the head, as no fucking way. Wait, what the fuck? Yes, okay, some cigarette companies were bold enough to state health benefits on their ads. Yes, okay, that's exactly the one. Oh, okay, I see. It changes with every pic. I could have read the description, but no. I am describing. Cold in the head? Asthma? ETC? I don't fucking think so, but they didn't either. They were really preying on fucking uneducated, illiterate people with this one. Oh yes. Okay, that's a great one. Another series of ads claimed that smoking improved digestion. In this mid-30s campaign, Camel said, using sensitive scientific apparatus, it is possible to measure accurately the increase in digestive fluids. That follows the enjoyment of Camel's costlier tobaccos. The same studies demonstrate an abundant flow of digestive fluids is important also to the enjoyment of food. Fucking ridiculous. That being said, it's kinda true. Like a Camel after a fucking meal, you feel like you can have that meal again, basically. I don't think it's an increase in digestive fluids, to be honest, but what nicotine does is it just kind of, it increases your entire metabolism for the time being. And that also makes you shit faster, also makes you digest the food worse, so you actually it's in your colon faster. Which is something to keep in mind. It's not that you actually digest it better. It's just that you digest it faster. And of course, like, more frantically. With that being said, kinda have whatever the fuck this dead man is holding. Eat this, have a Camel. He's probably holding a Camel right here. Also love how they just used to cook and smoke. Inhale to your heart's content. Yes, no. To your oral fixation's contempt. Okay, so those are for prostitutes and those are for regular citizens, I would assume. Embassy. Goddamn man. To keep a slender figure no one can deny. Reach for a lucky instead of a sweet. No, that's so fucked. That's so fucked. Oh my fucking god. Holy Jesus. Do you suffer from anorexia? Well, Lucky Strikes might help you. Reach your goal. Holy shit, oh my fucking god. This is low-key like evil shit. Oh god fucking damn it, they keep going. They really had no soul back in the day. Reach for a lucky instead. Oh my fucking god, that's so fucked. Average American, average French person. It's toasted, your throat protection. No, that's fucking Lucky Strikes are not a throat coat. In fact, if there's anything that fucks up my throat, it's Lucky Strike. Literally, Lucky Strikes are like taking a fucking sandpaper to my throat. Against irritation, against cough, yes. At some point, your lungs will just not have the strength to fight back anymore. Oh my fucking god, I can't even tell you. My throat hurts most of the time. Okay, right now it's not hurting. But I've only had one Camel today. Now from cool for low tar smokers looking for taste. Cool Milds. I don't remember Cool Milds at all. I don't think they ever made it into the next millennia. The taste of extra coolness with lower tar too. Wait, they were fucking... They have menthol? Let's look at that image. Let's look at that image. Okay. I guess. I mean, now I hope you can see it a little better. Now, maybe I can see it a little better. Okay, 14 milligrams of something with 3 letters, I would assume. And then we have 1 milligram of... What the fuck is that? Nicotine? I don't fucking know. 20,000 physicians say Luckies. Yeah, we've looked at that one. Are we done here? I think we are. Yeah. Okay. Okay, now let's get into the nitty and gritty of the fucking camel hole. Am I ready? Am I right? I wanted to say. Look at those fucking old-timey designs they used to have. I would love that. That fucking screams Middle East bazaar to me. Damn man, I'm thinking from all companies, Camel probably has the most, like, how can I say this, the most... That's so fucking dumb. I fucking can't anymore. This shit is so fucking dumb. Fucking Duke Smoke'em. I would love a fucking carton of those with that design on them. That's exactly what the fuck I light and smoke. Also, I once heard from like a Romanian old grandpa that I used to fucking go on smoke breaks with when I used to work. I think I used to work security at that time. And he used to fucking tell me that back in the day, they used to put a single in the day. They don't do that anymore, but that used to be why they were called camels, according to him. Of course, I would assume that's absolute fucking bullshit. In fact, let's get to the bottom of this. No. Oh, god fucking damn it. Okay, let's find the fuck out. Damn, they look very different. I didn't even know that those camels existed. I mean, goddamn, that's a small ass camel. That's actually a pretty... I've never seen a camel that small, to be honest. Okay, that's the dromedary. That's the OG camel, I would assume. And then that's like the fucking Indian camel. Like the Indian elephant is a little smaller. The two-humped Bactrian camel. Very, very interesting. Also, wasn't there a thing with, yes, African rhinos are like bigger. But then again also... Oh my god, yes. The Indian rhinos have more armor. Just like this camel has like more armor. What the fuck happened to that one? That one has been harvested for cigarettes a lot. Damn, man. Don't even want to know how many fucking cartons were made out of that rancid ass, ratchet ass camel. I almost feel bad for it. Oh, okay. The wearing of camel hair clothing is mentioned in the Bible. Who fucking cares? What the fuck is not mentioned in the Bible? Even like father-daughter incest is mentioned in the Bible. Can we like... I would fucking like to know. Was there camel hair and camels is not it. Cigarettes? Okay, I think that might actually get us somewhere. Japan tobacco. Joe Camel. Oh, I see. Joe Camel didn't have a long run. What? What the fuck? Joe Camel died? And why the fuck is this in German, by the way? Chemo? What the fuck? Okay, god fucking damn it. Brother? I'm not getting anything useful out of this bullshit. And also no fucking reason for everything to be in German. God damn it. You use a VPN once and see where it gets you. I really don't care about any of this shit. Okay, let's get restarted. Yeah, okay. I'm seeing a lot less Camel cigarettes here. You know what? That's fucking right, people. We're listening to lo-fi synthwave radio. Bruh. God damn, man, he got the neon bong. Like, god damn, man. My man's just token. What the fuck did we wanna do? Yes, right, we wanted to look at, There's one kind of genre of commercials that I love more than anything. There's just one fucking genre of commercials that are quite it. Oh, I fucking love it so much. Let's go. Let's fucking go. Shout out to Blue Lotus Films for this compilation. The rise and fall of Joe Camel, the cartoon who encouraged kids to smoke. Let's fucking watch that too. I love that too. God damn it. Vapes are a new thing, I'm telling you. If you didn't know already.
Until today, if you wanted the comfort of high filtration, you had to smoke one kind of cigarette. If you wanted full, rich tobacco refreshed with a light touch of menthol, you had to smoke another kind.
But now, you can just fucking inject it into your bloodstream and be fucking done with it.
Now you get both in one cigarette. New Alpine, with the longest filter yet. It's Alpine, Alpine, Alpine.
Also the fucking jingles, don't tell me shit. That shit really got you hooked. They could have sold fucking smoking rocks and white people would have fucking ran after it.
You get two kinds of cigarette, two new kinds of cigarette in one Alpine. Try Alpine.
I love that shit so much. They really did a jingle for every single thing. Not fucking Grubhub meme ads. Just trying to make their own thing.
Boy, that's sure knocked the lights out.
Honey, give me a cigarette, please.
Sure.
Sure, have two. You're pregnant. You're smoking for two.
Say, what cigarette is this?
You know, it's a
Heroin.
Camel.
Yes, I do know. Mildness is a pleasure with Camel.
Yes, mildness is a pleasure with Camel.
Did people actually fucking sing all the time? I really don't think so. It's just so interesting that I guess those were the really early stages of TV commercials, so it like there wasn't an expectation for them to behave like, or at least try to behave like energetic people in real life. It was actually considered like basically the same kind of ambience that you would want in a soap opera or a movie.
You get all the flavor that makes smoking fun. And Pall-Mal's natural filter, greater length of traditionally fine tobaccos, travels the smoke further, filters the smoke, and makes it mild. Yes, Pall-Mal filters the smoke, but never the fun of smoking. So don't you miss...
And you would think this looks like shit. 100,000 on this bullshit.
the fun of smoking. Buy Pall-Mal famous cigarettes in the distinguished red package today.
I mean, do you even fucking know how much a fucking roll of film long enough to make one of these commercials costed back in the day? That shit was fucking expensive. That shit was basically manufactured like military gear.
Outstanding. And they are mild.
If all of those fucking cigarettes are mild, I wanna fucking try a harsh one. Like, actually. Is it just gonna kill me? Dad's coming home with the cigarettes.
Sure thing.
Did you bring the child cigarettes? Dad is fucking so drunk and angry.
Glad to see your sign. I was almost out of gas. Long trip? Don't trip. Cigarettes are tasting pretty dull.
Smoking next to the fucking gas pump is, of course, a move you would only see in the 50s and 60s. Not nowadays Not nowadays. No one fucking does that nowadays. We're all way smarter than back in the day.
Here, have one of mine.
It's gonna kill you.
Your cigarette's not tasting.
Instantly fucking keels over. It was laced with marijuana. It was a marijuana cigarette. Keels over, instantly starts raping everyone in the surrounding area.
Till you come up to cool with rich tobacco, cool white filter, extra coolness too. Taste extra coolness as you smoke. Let cool come through for you. Hey, these are okay. Cigarette machine inside.
These are okay, but I'm high now.
You'll be smoking cool.
Imagine fucking having one of these with literally no health regulations whatsoever, then having a fucking cocaine-laced Coca-Cola. That shit must be fucking amazing. That was even before they outlawed most of the good narcotics.
All the time. Once you come up to cool.
That was the fucking time. Literally, people, listen to me. Popping a fucking Quaalude, smoking a Cool Mild in the desert. Don't get me started.
All the way up to cool and taste the most refreshing coolness you can get in any cigarette. Smoke Cool. Filter.
Now a lighter, longer menthol. New Bel Air Filter Long.
Okay, so I see the longer the filter, the longer the wiener. Was the kind of status symbol people were going for back in the day. Like, first of all, it started with you're a woman. You're literally a woman if you smoke filtered cigarettes. And then it just kind of switched from one decade to the other to the longer the filter, the more sophisticated you are, I guess. And that's kind of what the fuck happens with everything that is seen as feminine. Like nowadays you wear a skirt and you must literally be fucking rich enough to hire security to not get stabbed.
Bel Air King Size and New Filter Longs, complete with Brawley coupons.
Oh my fucking god.
From Parliament.
I hope this is consensual.
Keeps what it filters off your lips.
No filter feedback.
Keeps it off your lips and her lips too.
No filter feedback.
Tobacco tastes best
No filter feedback, what?
when the filter's recessed. Parliament, smoke Parliament cigarette. No filter feedback.
Someday, all filters will be made this better way, recessed like today's Parliament. Because filters that are flush, like this, feed best filter you smoke clean. The United States Testing Company confirms high filtration, no filter feedback.
That's so fucking disgusting, and if I don't even know what no filter feedback means, to be honest. And imagine being so fucking greedy that you take off half of the filter to save that little piece of cotton. Just to fucking say, oh, it's actually better to have less product.
Your lips or hers?
Tobacco tastes best when the filter's recessed. Parliament, smoke Parliament cigarette.
No filter feedback.
All the filter feedback. I want a fucking review from my filter. You feel me? I'm fighting the urge to smoke a cigarette watching this, I'll be fucking honest.
Until today, you had to smoke 2 kinds of cigarettes to get what you get from one Alpine. New Alpine, refreshing taste, together with high filtration, a great combination. It's Alpine, New Alpine.
You get refreshed.
They really only had a chance to do one take. Oh my fucking god, people. People of America. By the way, last guy that fucking followed me was 7 days ago. Can we talk about that? I fucking can't anymore.
You get 2 kinds of cigarettes, 2 new kinds of cigarettes.
He's, after the fucking shoot is done, he's gonna smoke both of them simultaneously. Because they're healthy. They get your lungs white like the Alps. What the fuck, high porosity paper? That's not a good thing. You want less porosity.
Hand me those scissors, will
So
you?
you can have a smoother hit.
Sure.
So it's actually easier to hit. It's not like fucking sucking on a sponge, but more like sucking on a tube.
That's a nice fan wing. Looks good. Well, it's like an old friend to me. Been tying it just this way for years.
Oh, worked pretty good?
Mm-hmm. The trout seemed to like it okay. There. That just about does it.
I don't even fucking know what.
You mind if I take one of your Newports?
No, help yourself.
Thanks. I've never tried these before. Not bad. Got a real, fresh taste, you know?
Yes. I've been smoking them for years. When I find something I like...
Let's see how his film looks, and that's no difference for me.
Now, little fly, you're going to catch me some beauties.
Newport smoke spray.
Oh, he was making a fucking fly something from a fishing hook.
Taste better too than any other menthol cigarette.
If only they knew that their target demographic would not be fishermen, but in fact black people.
Why don't you settle back and have a full
I think maybe black fishermen are like their biggest target demographic.
smoke, have a Marlboro cigarette.
This is the one to settle back with, this Marlboro. If you think flavor went out when filters came in, Marlboro may surprise you. It's the filter cigarette with the unfiltered taste. It's Marlboro's exclusive Select Trait filter. Nice to know that a cigarette so good can be so comfortable to smoke. Make yourself comfortable. Have a Marlboro.
You get along.
No fucking way, it's the Marlboro Man. Be red Schleck. I almost fucking lit my mouth on fire because I didn't even process that I would need to put a cigarette in my mouth.
With a Marlboro filter flavor pack or box.
I'll fucking be 100% genuine right now. If anyone can get me those vintage Camel packs, I will pay. I will pay like a fair price for them. Like actually, if you can get them, I will accommodate you adequately. Got that Camel on. I really shouldn't show that off. That's not even something. That's not something to flex with. There's a cat here. A cat just went into my room. I'm petting it now. Gonna pet it. I hope it doesn't lay down on my laundry. Oh, now it's playing with a spider. Now it's eating the spider. I love that cat so much. It's the neighbor's cat. Sometimes it just comes into my room and hangs out. I would honestly show you. It seems like it's having too much fun by itself. Can't even light this shit. Okay. As long as it's not playing around with my trash bag, we should be golden. I don't know. My cat. Hello, kitty kitty. I really don't know what's happening. That cat, I'm telling you, that's a good fucking cat. experiencing some kind of crisis. I can't even light this shit.
Hey, thanks a lot. That was drifting in the bay. Thanks a million.
Thank you.
Ready for a real smoke? Have a Camel. Camel's real taste satisfies longer. Have a real cigarette. Have a Camel.
I can't go with this propaganda. It's not the only real cigarette. In fact, I think that there are some Lucky Strikes that are pretty good. Like the ones with the paper filter are actually kinda decent.
Right. Yeah. Right. Okay.
Now, there's a new Camel cigarette. With a smooth, easygoing taste. New Camel filter.
Fucking being on that cruise ship, blowing that smoke right into a baby's face. Those were the golden days.
New Camel filters are here with real taste. And Camel's real taste satisfies.
Then getting fucking thrown off the ship and lynched before because they found out that it's a marijuana cigarette.
Longer. Taste new Camel filter cigarettes.
Getting shot with a fucking Smith & Wesson Magnum.
Chris Shackles.
Because they found out that you brought a bong on the ship.
Plans for Marlboro. And here's the guy with the educated toe, Don Chandler, star punter for the New York Giants, who last year averaged 46.6 yards per punt. Don, would you mind showing the fans the real trick of getting off those long ones?
Well, the most important thing, Chris, is a complete level drop of the ball. Then, of course, the drive of the leg up through the ball and the full follow-through.
Back in the day when they were fucking smoking cigarettes while playing sports.
Hefty, Don, thanks. You know, the fans would probably like to know how a ball player like you spends his time in the off-season.
Well, Chris, I don't have an off-season. I go right from football to my year-round job, selling Marlboro cigarettes.
In your home state of Oklahoma?
That's right, and all through the Southwest.
Are the folks buying lots of Marlboros these days, Don?
They sure are down in my territory. They're easy to sell and easy to like.
Can we keep talking about that fucking cat? It just killed a spider for me. Ate it and then just went on its way again. That's what the fuck I love about that cat. It likes to kind of tidy up instead of shit and piss in here.
Why?
Well, Marlboro gives you a lot to like. It's the filter cigarette with the unfiltered taste. Try Marlboro and find out for yourself.
Thank you, Don Chandler.
Boy, this new grill sure does the job.
Putting fucking gasoline in that fire, putting a steak on the wood immediately. Those were the golden days. She's carrying a fucking tank of gasoline for the barbecue. No, it's leaded diesel.
Darling, after all, we did get the grill and the thermos jug.
So you too save Raleigh coupons.
Everyone we can get our hands on.
Everybody seems to be saving coupons and stamps these days. Have you gotten many Raleigh premiums?
Sure.
Thank God that fucking lighter worked. He would have fucking beaten his wife if it didn't.
Those coupons mount up fast.
Those were the 50s and 60s, people.
There's one in every pack and 4 extra in every carton.
This man beats his children on a daily basis.
How do you like that Raleigh taste?
Wonderful. Smooth and mild. And I'll take this Raleigh filter any day. I don't see why everybody doesn't smoke Raleighs.
Yes, king-size
Even
Raleigh
children,
is the
even
only
dogs
filter cigarette that
should
gives
smoke
you
Raleighs.
guaranteed quality tobacco. Plus, valuable coupons good for over 200 luxury gifts. There's a
So
coupon
fucking
on
dumb.
every pack. 4 extra coupons in every carton. Smoke Raleigh.
Then again,
Filter
we
tip.
fucking get 10% off our gamer subs order nowadays, so who am I to judge?
For plain end.
What's it like to smoke an Alpine? Well, it's like a lot of fresh little things around you. It's like walking barefoot on the wet, cool sand at the edge of the surf. Like
the tiny slap of the waves against the side of a rowboat. Like
So
a sky full of clouds racing along with the wind. That's what it's like to smoke an Alpine. Alpine is completely different from the sort of smoking you may be used to. Alpine has a freshness about it like morning dew. A light, lively, downright exuberant kind of taste, pack after pack. If this sounds good to you, try Alpine filter cigarettes.
There's something more to smoking with an Alpine cigarette.
That's what I'm saying. A jingle for every single ad.
Chesterfield, the best possible smoke, as tested and approved by scientists from
This
leading
man is a fascist.
universities. Now, here are Chesterfield's research laboratories, newest in the business. And here's where Chesterfields are made, in the newest and most modern of cigarette factories. All this, friends, to make Chesterfield the best possible smoke for you. Try a pack today.
Also, can we talk about how they used to fucking still making fun of social housing in like socialist countries and then having parking lots look like that? Like, oh no, we only use those houses for cars.
In the newest and most modern of cigarette factories. All this, friends, to make Chesterfield the best possible smoke for you. Try a pack today. Now, you king-size smokers, you have something to look forward to. It won't be long until you can get king-size Chesterfields. Yes, sir, Chesterfield is the first cigarette in America to give you premium quality in both regular and king-size. You see, this king-size is exactly the same as the regular, except for the larger size. It's about 21% longer. So remember, it won't be too long until you can get Chesterfields either way you like them, regular or king-size. Either way, Chesterfield gives you the best possible smoke.
Why don't you settle back and have a full flavored smoke? Settle back with a
I should actually kind of also think about putting blankets on my chairs. That seems really cool.
make yourself comfortable whenever you smoke. Have a Marlboro cigarette.
If you think flavor went out when filters came in, settle back with the Marlboro, the filter cigarette with the unfiltered taste.
She's absolutely dead by now.
Like with a Marlboro filter, flavor, pack, or box.
Try Marlboro with the exclusive Select Trait filter that gives you unfiltered taste.
We're back, people.
Great game, wasn't it, Joe? Nothing like a cold shower to freshen you up. Sure there is, Harry. Try one of these new cigarettes.
In the fucking shower.
Hey, that is fresh and clean. What is this cigarette? It's a new Spud. What's that? Spud! The new filter Spud. Are you kidding? I used to smoke spuds years ago. Sure never tasted anything like this.
Yeah, but this is a new spud. Completely new cigarette. Got a terrific new taste. Just a touch of menthol.
Get a load of
Smoking
this filter.
in the
Hey, I
shower,
can actually
ashing
taste
on
the
his
tobacco
body.
through the new spud filter.
Let me see that new spud package again.
Here you go.
Just what I thought. That's the new flip top box.
Wet hands.
What a cigarette. Fresh, clean taste. Good filter. Crush-proof box. New filter spud. Terrific.
Great take. Let's pack up.
What do you think?
The way you...
Let me do a switch. Let me do a good old switcheroo.
Saying, it just might sell.
Sure hope so.
Hey, that's what I call a fast cigarette.
After a while, they don't taste so good.
Doesn't happen with Viceroy.
Why's that?
You got me. They just always taste good. Taste never quits.
Shit is so ridiculous.
Say, why don't we stop off for a bite to eat?
Love to. I'm starved. You know this Viceroy does taste good.
Taste never quits.
Viceroy starts with great tobaccos, then adds natural flavor fresheners to make sure the good taste never quits. Viceroy, the good taste never quits.
A Camel filtered cigarette. I dropped everything. Drop everything.
Her black mate had to pick that up again.
New Camel filters are here. Drop everything. New Camel filters are here. Real taste just came to filter cigarettes. Pick up new Camel. Camel. Camel filter cigarettes.
They're here. New Camel filter cigarettes.
This is a man who smokes Marlboro cigarettes. What kind of
He beats his wife and children every day because marijuana has been outlawed.
a man is he?
I'm a guy who likes to work
Oh, I remember that ad.
my car. I like to take it apart and put it back together. I get to working on it and forget where I am, what time it is. I even forget to eat.
What the fuck did they used to put in those cigarettes?
You don't forget to smoke, though. I always smoke when I work. They go together.
That's so
Why
me.
Marlboro? Well, it's a combination of things. When I draw on a cigarette, I want to taste something. With Marlboro, I do. Yet it's got a filter that works. Then there's this flip-top box. I like things that are well designed. This box is interesting and practical.
Would you recommend Marlboro to your friends?
I already have.
New Marlboro. Filter, flavor, flip-top box. Popular filter price.
So fucking insane.
If you can look at somebody else's advertising and think Alpine, you will be way ahead. Alpine gives you the taste of fine tobacco, natural menthol, and a gift-getting dividend coupon instead of a lot of ads. Think about that and you'll think Alpine.
Who did it? How did they do it? What in the world did they do?
They outlawed marijuana.
Who put the men in menthol smoking?
Alpine, that's who. Alpine, that's who.
Now the menthol cigarette has tobacco flavor a man can get hold of. Alpine always tastes rich, never smokes rough. Hearty tobacco, specially blended for the new way of smoking. Alpine gives you a crisp, clear taste, clean and moist to the end of the pack.
Clean and moist? I've never had a dry hit at the end of the cigarette.
How did they do it? What in the world did they do? Who put the men in
Also, menthols were also for women. That's so great.
That's who.
If only they knew.
Try Alpine filter cigarettes. Pleasingly new.
Joe Camel was a cool cartoon mascot designed to promote Camel cigarettes as a vital component of a hit.
Let me read the title and who made the video. Weird History. They don't need a fucking shout out. They have 4 million subscribers.
Youthful lifestyle. However, Joe's undeniable appeal among teens and young children ignited a firestorm of controversy that ultimately brought the campaign to a premature end.
Oh, they're not smoking cigarettes?
Today we're going to take a look at Joe
Interesting.
Camel, the cartoon mascot who encouraged kids to smoke. But before we get started, be sure to subscribe to the Weird History channel. After that,
I would
please leave a
rather
comment
not.
and let us know what other memorable advertising campaigns you would like to hear about. Okay, smoke 'em if you got 'em, because it's time for some weird history. Or
I
maybe don't
already
smoke 'em,
did.
just throw 'em out. Yeah, go with that. Toss 'em out.
Just bought them.
Joe Camel made his first U.S. appearance in Camel's 75th anniversary campaign in late 1987.
By the way, do I look like Joe Camel? I think I could be the new Joe Camel.
Which bore the catchy slogan, 75 years and still smoking. The mask was still just a twinkle in Jim Carrey's eye at the time, so a cartoon camel was the next best spokesman. However, the hip new version of Joe Camel created by R.J. Reynolds Tobacco Company had already been appearing in ads across Europe for over a decade. The anthropomorphized camel was designed in 1974 by British artist Nicholas Price, who based it off Old Joe, the camel figure in the original camel logo, which had been used by the company ever since its first advertising campaigns back in 1913. This advertising strategy shift examined that musty old logo and boldly asked, what if the camel was vaguely sexy, like a Don Johnson vibe? To better compete with tobacco industry leaders like Marlboro, Camel hoped to freshen up their brand's stale image. Not a totally unreasonable concern, given that their logo was old enough to receive retirement benefits. The anthropomorphic version of Joe was depicted in fashionable threads like leather jackets and tuxedos, and was usually surrounded by adoring
That's some fucking 90s shit. A fucking cartoon character talking about smoke camels. It's insane.
Every girl's crazy about a sharp-dressed camel. Past campaigns had invited smokers to walk a mile for a camel.
I'd walk a mile for a camel.
Which is pretty tough to do after finishing a pack of camels.
Okay, with that being said, I'd walk a mile for a camel. Let's look at the actually important stuff.
Hey, the big man's back. www.thekidfrombrooklyn.com. You ever see them signs on the highway billboards years ago? I'd walk a mile for a camel. Or they used to have cigarette commercials. The guy used to say I'd walk a mile for a camel.
Headphone warning, by the way.
Well, let me tell all you young people out there, the big man would walk 20 miles for a Quaalude. Let me tell you, that was the drug back there in the late 70s and 80s. Quaaludes, the good old Aurora 714, and they changed it to lemon. I tell you, I wish I had a couple of them fucking lemons now. That was the best fucking drug ever made. It was so fucking good, the government took them off the fucking market because they were putting the fucking drug dealers out of fucking business. Non-narcotic, non-addictive, bring back the fucking Quaaludes. You can take all the fucking cocaine, marijuana, and all them fucking designer drugs they make today and stick them up your fucking ass. There's nothing like a fucking Quaalude. I tell you, they were the fucking best. Having sex on a Quaalude, you thought you died and went to heaven, let me tell you. And when you had an orgasm, you thought you were on a fucking moon. Bring back them fucking Quaaludes. Anyway, think about it.
imagine tasting a drug so good that you
Joe
turn
Cam-
purple like 40 years after. That's just something to be jealous of, to be honest. Turning fucking purple, screaming, howling into the camera 50 years later is just something to be jealous of, in my opinion. With that being said, Quaaludes were not perfectly safe. But they were way safer than the shit that people do nowadays before going to the club. Like, at least they didn't even have fentanyl back then.
Camel was a cool cartoon mascot designed to promote Camel cigarettes as a vital component of a hip, youthful lifestyle. However, Joe's Camel made his first U.S. appearance in Camel's 75th anniversary campaign in late 1987, which
Damn,
bore
bro.
the catchy slogan, 75 years and still smoking. The mask was still just a twinkle in Jim Carrey's
No fucking man on this earth is 70 years smoking. 75 years and still smoking just doesn't exist.
eye at the time, so a cartoon Camel was the next best spokesman. However, the hip new version of Joe Camel created the company ever since its first advertising campaigns back in 1913. Hoped to freshen up their brand's stale image. Not a totally unreasonable concern, given that their logo was old enough to receive retirement benefits. The anthropomorphic version of Joe was depicted in fashionable threads like leather jackets and tuxedos, and was usually surrounded by adoring women. Every girl's crazy about a sharp-dressed camel. Past campaigns had invited smokers to walk a mile for a camel.
I'd walk a mile.
Let's watch
for a
that video
camel.
again.
Pretty tough to do after finishing a pack of camels. This new jazzier character promoted a vastly different image. Joe now appeared as a yoked man's man, who invited consumers to become a smooth character like himself. Basically a cross between James Bond, the Marlboro Man, and, well, a camel. And Joe Camel doesn't walk a mile for his cigarettes. He drives a flashy sports car. Critics, however, soon began to argue that the ads were playing off
This shit is so fucking insane. If you want to be a camel driving a cool car in a leather jacket, start smoking.
the desire of young people to be hip, and that such an advertisement would increase rates of underage smoking. I mean, who didn't buy a orange ascot when they saw Fred on Scooby-Doo? That guy was cool. I want to be cool. With the introduction of Joe Camel, it became evident that R.J. Reynolds was using the advertising campaign to reflect a more contemporary image among the crucially important segment of younger male smokers. But that raises the question, why was the youthful demographic so important? Well, according to Roy Burry, who was the senior vice president of the securities firm Kidder, Peabody & Company, and a close follower of all the happenings in the tobacco industry at the time, the under 21-year-old smoker is the most prized of all consumers. A young smoker will stick with smoking longer than an old smoker, who perishes or quits.
So fucking true. I'm that young smoker.
Translation, our older customers
But with that being said, I will perish.
keep dying of lung cancer and
Or quit.
emphysema. So we need to create some fresh young addicts. Also, according to a study by Dr. Joseph R. DeFranza with the University of Massachusetts, by creating advertising campaigns that present smoking as being pleasurable and making a person more popular and attractive, the company could more easily convince young people to try it. Basically, Camel was employing the tried and true advertising tactic of convincing consumers that using your product will make them totally bitchin' rock stars. Cigarette companies were also well aware of the importance of
She has never smoked a cigarette.
establishing brand loyalties with consumers while they were still young.
With that being said, she has consumed copious amounts of cannabis.
You hook a customer in their teens or 20s, and they'll literally smoke your product into the grave. According to Mazzina Brown Inc., the agency that R.J. Reynolds worked with after October 1989, Joe Camel was meant to be a whimsical caricature designed to appeal to the adult
Whimsical.
smoker and to encourage adult smokers to switch brands. Which I guess makes sense, given the wide association between youthfully bodacious cartoon
They fucking got me though. Like actually, I'm cameling around.
characters and fully grown adults. Which is also why we
And when I do when I do spliffs, like tobacco mixed kind of stuff, I only use Camel because the fucking I dare you to use a Pall Mall or something mixed with weed in a joint. That shit is disgusting. The only thing I can really even bear to toke on is probably Camel as a substrate or mix.
We see so many luxury car commercials featuring a cartoon dog with wraparound sunglasses and a skateboard. Oh wait, maybe we don't see that. But we should. We really, really should. Even when critics claimed that Camel's ads were strategically targeting young people, R.J. Reynolds continued to assert that Joe Camel was simply a standard market tactic meant to persuade adult smokers to switch to Camel from bigger brands like Marlboro.
No fucking
One of
way.
the most notable scandals surrounding the Joe Camel cartoon was his
There's
hip
just
appeal
no
to
way.
children and underage consumers. Even though R.J. Reynolds' tobacco company repeatedly denied creating the character to deliberately attract underage consumers, statistical data suggested
They were trying to get the senior citizens with that fucking cartoon character, right? Who would even believe that for 1 second?
this was happening anyway, regardless of their intent behind pumping millions of advertising dollars into a cool cartoon mascot. Just 4 years after Joe's U.S. introduction, the Journal of the American Medical Association completed a study demonstrating that the cartoon character was widely recognized by and popular among children. Another study in a New York Times article noted that even without cigarette advertising on television, 6-year-old children were as familiar with Old Joe Camel as they were with the Mickey Mouse logo for the Disney Channel. Honestly, we shouldn't feel good about either of those metrics. Yet another study published by Dr. Paul M. Fisher with the Medical College of Georgia showed that upon surveying 229 preschoolers, nearly 30% of 3-year-olds and more than 90% of 6-year-olds correctly linked Old Joe Camel to a cigarette. Regardless of whatever R.J. Reynolds' intentions may or may not have been, the kids loved Joe Camel because he's pretty freaking cool. Look at him. I want what you have, Joe Camel. Well, everything except the tar lungs.
It's so fucking ridiculous. His fucking fur around his mouth and fingers just being fucking sticked and glued together from tar and nicotine.
In addition to concerns over the advertisements themselves, critics also targeted the various other promotional tactics used by Camel. One such promotional tactic, Camel Cash, rewarded those who purchased cigarette packs with special points, or C-notes, that could be redeemed for Joe Camel merchandise.
Camel Cash?
Promotional merchandise options included everything from Joe Camel branded t-shirts, baseball caps, watches, and inflatable mattresses.
Okay, it's actually really fucking cool. I want one of those watches.
Who needs a real mattress when you have an inflatable Joe Camel mattress? Actually, most everybody. The problem was that many of these items and the system of points through which they were earned were especially attractive to young people. Dr. John P. Pierce from the University of California at San Diego explained to the New York Times in 1991, "These are all items that kids would want, and the only way to get them is to buy Camel cigarettes." Even worse, the cigarette package's 5-pack collector's series placed Joe at the center of a whole group of cartoon
No
friends.
way. They have a
Just
fucking Will
like
Smith
other
camel. Don't fucking tell me shit. That's a Will Smith camel if I've ever seen one.
iconic children's
Fucking Uncle Phil Camel.
cartoon characters. The way Mickey Mouse had a stable of pals like Minnie Mouse, Donald Duck, and Goofy, Joe Camel was given Josephine, Eddie, Floyd, Max, and Buster. Because apparently, adult consumers prefer a deep bench of animated sidekicks. I started smoking for Joe, but I stayed smoking for the sidekicks. R.J. Reynolds continued to deny allegations that the Joe Camel ads were targeting teens and children, but the data...
They really made a fucking $1.50 with this ad, honestly. Amazing idea. So evil, but so lucrative.
soon became undeniable. As early as 1990, less than 3 years after Joe Camel's American debut, a survey conducted by Dr. John P. Pierce with the University of California, San Diego, revealed that among 5,040 California youths, 22% of girls and 25% of boys who smoked chose Camels. This finding, cross-referenced against similar studies, suggests this demographic had a significant influence on Camel's growing market share against its competitors. As the New York Times explained, since the start of the Old Joe campaign in 1988, the brand had become the choice of 1/4 to 1/3 of smokers under the age of 18. Before the campaign began, less than 1% of those under 18 smoked Camels. In fact, another study found that, on average, young people were found to be far more familiar with the Camel logo than the adults were across the U.S.
That's interesting.
With the rise of Joe Camel ads in the late 1980s and the ensuing debate around the campaign's intention, the entirety of the tobacco industry came under fire. findings from various studies regarding the impact on youth populations garnered the attention of numerous politicians, including Representative Henry A. Waxman, who called for a ban on all tobacco advertising. Waxman could see that the success of the tobacco industry was dependent on recruiting people who didn't believe smoking kills. He wrote, "Enticing children, third world populations, and disadvantaged members of our own society to smoke is the only way for tobacco."
What they're saying with that is children, poor people, and dumb people.
Tobacco companies to make up for the numbers of smokers who quit or die. Waxman also
Which, basically, all of those basically fit for me. I'm a dumb, poor child, is what I'm trying to say.
sarcastically compared tobacco ads to the moral equivalent of a national campaign to drive drunk, just for the fun of it. Well, that sounds extreme. Nobody's ever been killed in a high-speed cigarette collision. We get his point. As the debate grew, R.J. Reynolds formulated a response, inviting people to learn more about each side of the argument. The company did this by taking out ponderous full-page ads in several newspapers and magazines stating that they'd like to clear the air on smoking, and unequivocally stating they believed smoking was for adults. Ironically, even though that message supposedly was for children, they abandoned their flashy cartoon mascot for walls of boring text. If statistical data from numerous surveys and studies wasn't enough to prove the impact Joe Camel ads had on young people, R.J. Reynolds' own internal documentation would serve as the smoking gun, pun intended. In a document from September 30th, 1974, marketing presentation detailing goals and plans for the next year, the very first point reads, "Increasing our young adult franchise." It then goes on to note the growing importance of the young adult in the tobacco market, and that they will represent 27% of the population in 1975. They represent tomorrow's cigarette business. Here, the youth the document refers to includes anyone aged between 14 and 24, which by definition includes those who are underage. The document goes on to reflect the strategies and campaigns in place for the coming year that are meant to achieve the increase in their young adult audience. There is also additional documentation, courtesy of the RJR Marketing
That's sick as shit.
Department,
I used it
outlining
as
the
a live
specific
wallpaper.
influences that lead a smoker to select their first brand of cigarette. So, Joe Camel's appeal among kids was no accident. It was a priority conceived at the highest levels of the company. After nearly 23 years worth of advertising on an international scale, R.J. Reynolds Tobacco Company chose to retire Joe Camel in 1997. Despite the fact that harsh criticism from politicians and anti-smoking advocates plagued the campaign for its
This man has not had a cigarette for the last hour.
entire lifespan, the company asserted that the decision was purely strategic and not due to social and political pressure. In other words, they wanted to be clear that they weren't retiring Joe Camel because people thought it was the right thing to do, but merely because he wasn't selling as many cigarettes as he used to. After that, Camel reverted back to its classic logo, and R.J. Reynolds removed Joe Camel from magazines, billboards, and store displays. But the success of Joe Camel had already left its mark on the cigarette advertising industry. Kool, whose parent company is the Brown and Williamson Tobacco Corporation, revamped their own brand mascot in much the same fashion as Camel.
That's so fucking disgusting. The fact that they would literally make him even more cartoon than Joe Camel.
Willie was a sunglass
Even cartoons, that's amazing.
wearing penguin, who seemed to be aiming for the same type of audience as Joe Camel. But
Did you know that one cigarette can literally kill pretty much all birds on the planet? Like, no matter how big the bird, just one puff of a cigarette can kill them. They have such bad lungs.
much like old Joe, Willie had been present in earlier Kool ads. Though without
So I'm saying he's taking that cigarette out, and if he lights it, that's it.
the Sega Genesis attitude of his 90s incarnation. However, Kool denied that Willie was
Who the fuck is that? Peter Penguin? No fucking way.
inspired by Joe Camel and his success. A brand spokesperson even claimed, "I don't even think there's any resemblance at all." Yeah, I get his point. I mean, penguins don't even live in the desert. So what do you think? Do you remember Joe Camel? Let us know in the comments below. And while you're at it, check out some of these other videos from our weird history.
I won't. But what I will do is Do you see that? I don't. I'm actually blind from all that smoke. But I will thank you for watching. I actually need to get the fuck out of here. But just know that if you want more of this, probably not talking about Joe Camel, but about something probably just as degenerate and depraved. The Goon door is open. Make sure to look at my YouTube, because literally all live streams for maybe the past 2-3 weeks have been uploaded to YouTube to the fullest degree. So if you found any enjoyment out of this, one viewer watching right now, fucking check out the acid streams. Like, actually, literally taking acid and streaming. Acid stream. Oh, by the way, I would have almost left without telling you. So, Neoclassical Gooning Productions Studios are currently, we've expanded the budget of 50,000 to 70,000, and now we're just kind of recasting some side roles in the upcoming presentation, in the feature film. And I think it's going to be one of the best sequels we've produced so far. So if you're into that, definitely wait for I don't know if I'm allowed to say it yet, to be honest. I don't know if I'm allowed to say it yet. Actually, let me check. Let me see what's up. Damn, man. This Friday. Watch out for this Friday. If I get fucked by HR for this one, then I guess it's my fault, and I'll have to retract my statements. But listen to me. Watch out for this Friday stream, because it's gonna be sick. Okay? If it gets, again, I will have to retract my statements officially if I'm not allowed to say it yet. But I think the deadline for this feature film is gonna be Friday. So you should watch out for that. Just like every Friday, I think it would, I think the last meeting we had with the investors kind of came to the conclusion that it's gonna be Friday, if we make it in time. I mean, the shooting and everything. Also, then again, getting the CGI done in time should be possible if we really make them work. You know, we'll see. For now, thank you for watching, and